my channel. My name is M.R.E.ngineering and today I'm going to talk about body style and car classification. Maybe this topic is not very critical for understanding the function of cars, but I think it's a basic knowledge and it would be very useful if we have a few minutes to talk about it. Like everything that we gather information about, we need an authentic source for our reference. And I have concluded that the best and most reliable sources are Americans, especially federal government regulations. And if you're wondering that how a technical subject can be addressed by US government, it's a good time to make you familiar with the United States government, its departments, regulations, and standards. But please note that we are not going to go deep into that, but I'll give you enough information so we can draw some results. Okay, the United States federal government. In brief and informative way, I can say that, as you know, the head or leader of the United States is President of the United States, who administers the whole country based on Constitution and statutes that the Congress has passed as basics of ruling the country. But the Congress is not going to pass laws for every subject in details. In this case, US government is relying on its regulations for regulating and dealing with affairs, and it is where definition of crime, offense, felony, and violation rise. But we are not going to cover them here. Also, US President is given some additional authorities to issue executive orders that can be used when it is necessary. Now we can go further into federal government. The main body of the federal government is divided into 15 executive departments, and they form the main body of the federal government. These departments are Defense, State, Education, Interior, Treasury, Labor, Commerce, Energy, Agriculture, Transportation, Veteran Affairs, Homeland Security, Housing and Urban Developments, Health and Human Services, and Justice. The head, or if I use technical phrase, the principal officer in each executive department is called Secretary, except for Justice Department that its secretary is also known as Attorney General. Now here I want to talk about Department of Transportation, that is known with this logo. This department itself is divided into a few child agencies that I have listed here. And I just want to talk about two of them, Federal Highway Administration and partly about National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And also I like to talk about Federal Aviation Administration, or known as FAA. This administration deals with affairs like construction and operation of airports, air traffic management, certification of personnel and aircrafts, and many other aviation-related things in the United States. This federal administration is a part of international organization called ICAO, or some people call it ICAO, and also has its own regulations that is known as FAR. This FAR is a part of Title 14 of CFR. About CFR, I'll talk about in a minute later, but please don't confuse this FAR with FAR in Title 48, that is Federal Acquisition Regulations. In this case, FAA calls its regulations as parts, like Part 21, that those airworthiness managers in Boeing company know that how it's important when they are applying for type certification for new product, or Part 25, that those authorities in FAA know how to use that when they are evaluating compliance of new design with expected safety and reliability, or Part 145, that those MR companies know that how much it is important when they are applying for certification or extending their capability lists. Okay, back to CFR. What is CFR? CFR is Code of Federal Regulations, and please don't confuse that with the United States Code. As US Code is in 54 titles and they are related to laws and House of Representatives, and CFR is in 50 titles and they are related to government. But in many numbers they have the same titles. Now, if you want to find any specific regulation or title, you can visit the website www.ecfr.gov. Based on my research, there are at least 4 parts in 2 different titles that are this car classification, and 3 of them in Title 49 and 1 of them in Title 40. Let me to show you them in details. When you go into this website and open this menu, you can see 50 titles, and I select title 49, and under subtitle B, chapter 5, I select parts 500 to 599 and select sections 523.1 to 523.10. It's vehicle classification based on configuration, application, and weight of vehicles. Another part in Title 49 that considers weight of vehicles to classify them is Part 565. In this part, cars are divided into categories from 3,000 pounds to over 33,000 pounds. Also, in Part 571, we have vehicle definitions based on their configuration. Here, I don't want to go deep into these sections on legal phrases, but I eventually guide you to Federal Highway Administration website, and in this website they state that their mission is to enable and empower the strengthening of a world-class highway system that promotes safety, mobility, and economic growth while enhancing the quality of life of all Americans. Here, I don't know how much they have accomplished this mission, but I think it's a great mission to pursue for them. And on this website also you can find definitions and classifications summarized into 13 classes that when I read them, I resulted that we are just going to deal with 3 of them. And I mean class 2, 3, and 5, and specifically class 2 that by definition is all the sedans, coupes, and station wagons manufactured primarily for the purpose of carrying passengers. Also, there's another passenger car classification under Title 40, Protection of Environment. In Chapter 1, Parts 425 to 699, in Part 600 under Section 600.315-8, that is based on Interior Volume Index, and according to that, a 2-seater is classified as a car with no more than 2 designated seating positions, and in this case, we are the same with Title 49, but other passenger cars are based on interior volume, as sedan cars are in 5 classes, under 85 cubic feet to over 120 cubic feet, and respectively there are mini compact cars to large cars. And this vehicle classification as used interior volume index is the one that is used by SAE recommended practice J1100. But when you refer to the market and car manufacturers, they use and combine all of these classifications and offer their products into these types and sizes, as 2-seaters are the smallest ones, and sedan, hatchback, and fastback and stations are divided into 5 sizes: mini, compact, mid-size, full-size, and large. Mini sedan like Ford Fiesta, compact sedan like Mercedes C-Class, mid-size sedan like Toyota Camry, full-size sedan like Nissan Maxima, and large luxury sedan like Genesis G90. And sport utility vehicles and crossovers that are crossed between SUVs and sedans are in these 4 sizes: mini, compact, mid-size, and full-size. Mini SUV like Hyundai Kona, mid-size crossover like Porsche Cayenne, and full-size SUV like Toyota Land Cruiser. And pickup trucks are divided into these 3 sizes: compact, mid-size, and full-size. Full-size itself into 2 types: normal and heavy-duty. Normal full-size truck like Ram 1500, and heavy-duty full-size truck like Chevrolet Silverado 2500. Also in the market, you can see coupes and vans in 3 sizes: compact, mid-size, and full-size. Compact van like Toyota Sienna, and full-size coupe like BMW 6 Series. Also in the market, you can see and buy some special cars that I want to give you some definitions for them here, like limousine cars that based on Title 41, Subtitle C, Chapter 102, Section 102-34.45 is classified as a station wagon car and is a large luxury vehicle with a partition between the driver's compartment and passenger compartment, and also Roadster, that is a convertible 2-seater car with a sporty looking body. But what is a convertible car? It is a car with a removable roof, also called in British cabriolet. And Grand Tourer, that is a luxury fast-going car that is designed for long-distance travel, and companies like Mercedes and Maserati are well known in this field. And names like supercar and hypercars are used by manufacturers and car enthusiasts that refer to cars with high level of performance and sporty and muscle type body style. At the end, I hope that this video was useful and informative for you and worth the precious time that you spent for watching that. Please subscribe to my channel if you like and press the bell icon to be notified if I have a new video on my channel. Bye.